Hello and good afternoon to everybody. Welcome to episode 5. This is the second podcast of the week, and I have here with me, as always, my favorite co-podcaster, Mareth.
Hello, how's everyone doing today? How are you
Um,
doing, Sefat?
I am doing lovely. I just had an ice cream, so it's pretty hot where I am here, almost like 20 degrees Celsius. So I'm enjoying my summer. How are you enjoying your summer?
It's good. Was able to sit outside for a while and just enjoy the sun. It was raining the last couple days, but today was just so nice and sunny. Cool breeze, loving it.
That's lovely. I hear accusations that you've been griefing games in the in-houses. How true are those?
I only like well, today weren't in houses, but I did grief those games too. But I also griefed the last couple in houses I've been in. So yeah, lots of griefing going around, getting it out of my system before Sunday. Just making sure everything's good for the future.
Well, I hope you don't grief our games on Sunday because, as everybody already knows, the quarterfinals were already done. We have our final four teams, and this Sunday we'll have our semifinals and hopefully the final two teams. Very excited and looking forward to that. Today's episode, we're gonna be focusing on the last two games of the quarterfinal series, and with that in mind, we do have two very special guests with us. One of them is a captain, and the other is a player. Um, Before we bring them in, I think we did our predictions last week, right? We say who the both of us think are gonna win the semifinals, or did we not do that?
I don't remember, honestly. That was so long ago. Like I'm a changed person. New year, new me. New
Oh,
week, new me.
okay, before we get our guests on, let's just do a very small prediction. Who do we think is gonna win between Wild Daddy and Hollywood versus Coplice and Kyhua?
Okay. I'm really hopeful Hollywood wins against Wild Daddy. Someone's gotta drive the stake into the beast that is this Wild Daddy team. They're doing too well, and I'm really hopeful they can do it. With that being said, I think Wild Daddy's gonna win. Like if I was a betting if I'm betting on it, it's Wild Daddy.
Uh, my heart
What
says
about you for that?
my heart says Hollywood. My brain says Wild Daddy. Um, so that's my prediction. I don't know if that's a prediction, but that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I
Um,
and then for the other one, I think Kyhua, Team Kyhua, our team. Of course, we're biased. I'm biased. Can't
yeah,
avoid it, but I think we're gonna win.
yeah.
Despite everything Megaman says, I think we can do it.
Yeah, I think we have the Megumin curse against us, and I think it's working in our favor so far. So I hope Megumin keeps hate watching us. We love it, Megu. We love you. We love your hate watches. We love how you shit on us every week in your content. Please keep that going.
Megu hate watching gives me power.
Yep. So yeah, so those are our predictions for the semifinals. And now it's time to bring on our friends to this call.
Yeah, so we have two guests today. I'm excited to be able to talk to both of them. Both very good, very respectable players, and I'm looking forward to the insight they're able to bring, the knowledge bombs they can drop on us.
Yeah, I think these both of these people are amazing people, um, and I think we're gonna have a fun episode with them. Like last week's episode was one of the my favorite ones, so this week's one is also gonna be probably my most favorite one.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, this is a GRaff from Team ASU Farm Leaders here with us. How are you doing today, Giraffe?
I am good. I had to mute the stream. I was getting some echo there.
All right, and the second guest we have
Oh,
on for
hello.
today is Uncaring Stone from Team Watkins. I totally forgot what your team name is. Darkwing Ducks.
Sorry, repeat that.
Yeah,
My thing is messed up.
No, I was ask. I totally forgot Watkins' team name. Your team name is Darkwing Ducks, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. And how are you doing
Yeah.
today?
Doing good, you guys?
Yeah, we're doing
Yeah,
great.
wonderful.
Okay,
Good to hear.
so we are gonna start off with the Darkwing Ducks. So Watkins team versus um Coplice.
Coplice, whatever their team name is. They've
Yeah,
changed it like two or three
yeah.
times
I'm
this
not even
season,
gonna
so
try to pronounce it at this point. So GRaff, you are welcome to ask any questions you have, any draft questions, any captain questions, whatever you might want to ask on Carrying Stone. So feel free to chime in whenever you want to. But firstly, we're gonna focus on that series. So before we go, I mean, obviously I'm gonna pull up the game on the client, but before that, I just wanted to ask, how are your feelings after that series on Carrying Stone? How do your first reactions after you were got done with the games?
It was tough. This is my first full league. I did I think the two minis before this league. I played support in both of those minis, and this boy was the first one playing my actual role, so it sucked a little bit. Everyone, everyone assumed we were going to get to the finals against Wild Daddy, and I also was very confident in our team, so it was more of a shock than anything.
Okay. So
yeah. It's especially I just want like especially I don't know, looking at the stat lines that you in particular were dropping, your Pango game, you had so many kills, you were doing so well, so far ahead. Same with the Void Spirit game. I don't know, I feel like it Coplice's team just had like crazy amounts of team fight and just were able to hit everything like perfectly.
It's funny because I was telling Tim pretty much every hero I played for I don't know if you call them prelims or the non-tournament
Well, like the group
matches.
stage.
Yeah, group stage, sure. Not one of them are heroes I regularly play. All of those were heroes are just heroes that I have like 20, 30, 40 games on. So when I got uh, to the first match of the playoffs, I was like, yeah, I'm actually going to play a hero that I regularly play, and no one has seen me play it because I don't play it against them, and I don't play it in-house.
Oh wow, that's tactical. Here I am spamming Pango every chance I get and every game I get, and it's banned against me. Who would have?
Yeah,
uh,
you can even the players they banned against me, like none of them are regular heroes I play. Coplice was the only one to ban Void Spirit against me.
so you would you say pos 2 is your main role, or is what's your main role?
Pos two, yeah.
Okay, so in the
It
previous
was Pos
minis,
four, then Pos two.
you were kind of finding your feet, and this is the first time you're playing a regular season, and you were like, okay, you want to play pos 2 for sure.
No, in the minis I kind of got outranked for the role I wanted to play.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, the minis that I played were like the uncapped ones, so you had immortals and high divines and whatnot.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So again, we know, again, as Matt said, we've seen plenty of pangos in the in houses. We've seen plenty of pango getting banned thereafter in the normal games. Were you surprised to see the pango being left open by Coplice? And was that like your suggestion that give me this hero? It's a broken this meta, or did you guys uh, plan to draft around it?
Uh, I I was confident against it, uh, definitely against what we assumed was quad mid. It's a good answer to a lot of it, especially wanting to build diffusal. It's good to Sand King, obviously, and it's good on their supports. Jug is the only one it's a little iffy on because you don't have the ability to ball into Blade Fury unless you have Basher. But and Omni Slash is obviously a counter. But I'm comfortable on that hero against the four heroes they had at the time.
Right. So again, I tend to always ask this question. Now that the game's ended, would you still pick Pango, or would you choose another hero?
Yes, 100%.
So you still pick Pango.
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm hearing from you is that you guys felt that you guys had the right draft, but you guys just miss executed a team fight, so it was just miss planning certain parts of the map, playing certain parts of the map. Is that what you guys felt went wrong in this first game?
I'm not going to speak on behalf of my other four team members. Uh, I think we lost touch with playing as a team both games. That's just my personal feeling on it. We didn't. There was very little communication and not any clear and concise communication.
Okay.
Which, in a game where you have a DK Pango, like you're hoping to push them out at 20 minutes, not drag it on to 45, 50 minutes. That's just not your hero timings.
So with regards to
Yeah,
that,
for sure.
do you guys have a shot caller on the team that has been existing throughout the season? Like someone who's, again, is that you or is that someone else?
I would say Tim is definitely more vocal, and it's a weakness of mine. I get lost in the game and forget that I need to actually speak and communicate. I try to, but I would say it's more Tim.
I see. You have something to say, Mareth?
Yeah, so my understanding is it was Watkins drafted, correct?
That's correct.
Both games, Dragon Knight was picked relatively early. Is that just like I'm just wondering if it was discussed as like, because it is a very flexible hero. It can play all three core roles. You can put it wherever you need.
Game two, it was a little more forced. Game one, obviously, you know, Coplice's strategy that game was let's just ban all of Luz heroes.
Yeah.
So we were very, I don't want to say limited to what Law could play, but limited to what Law could play with what we've already drafted.
Yeah.
DK does a good role of, you know, do you want to build him as a really hard carry? Do you want to build him as like a overfarmed 3 that can blink in and do what he needs to do while everyone else can not have to babysit him? Into the AA, questionable.
It is a very hard game into the AA, and all the magic damage from Quap and Sand King, and I don't know. Watching those games, I don't know. It's just like
we kind of got
disheartening
lost.
to watch that.
We kind of got lost in the who do you ban against in this lineup? You know, when we played Coplice the first time around, you know, different people than when we played against this time.
Yeah.
Generally, I know what to play or what to do against Blue Jay. I've played with and against Blue Jay a lot, but Coplice, most of the in-houses and times I've played with him, he's a support. So him playing 3, it's like, I don't know what he's doing as a 3.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
to be honest with you, I don't know. Like,
there's a lot up in the air. I remember, because I casted this game with Anani the other day, talking about like Nurch as well, and Nurch played like 3 of the matches up until playoffs. He missed like 4 or 5 weeks, and then there's like no data on him, and then he just comes in and drops like crazy net worth, crazy kill death ratio, like. I don't know.
Tim is a very thorough drafter. You know, Tim is the kind of person that will actually spend an hour looking throughout the week at what people are playing and what we should ban against and get feedback from other people on what they think you should ban against that person.
Yeah.
And I think that was definitely harder to do this week when 2 of the 5 players we have never played against or know what they're doing in the tournament.
Yeah, for sure.
I assumed we were going to be playing against Big Dog again. That was my assumption.
Was Sammy standing in for Coplice's team in any of the games this season? I don't remember.
He's stand in I think twice or 3 times, but he's listening and can Steam message me and tell me.
Sammy was their core player when we played them during the week as well. I remember that.
4 times he stood in for them.
That's crazy.
Or sorry, 4 games. So I think some game 1, some both games, but
yeah.
So yeah, it's hard to pick apart. I didn't know how scary his jug was. He was definitely a good jug, and a good jug also into Pango. That is, you know, for a personal 1v1 matchup, jug against Pango, like Omni Slash, there's no way to counter it.
Yeah, like Yule Scepter, and I did see you bought Yule Scepter, but other than that, it's just, what do you do?
It's Yules and Lotus against a good Juggernaut. you're 50-50ing. Is it going to be an Omni or is it going to be a Swift?
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask with the Dawnbreaker pick. Again, I know there was the AA in the game, and correct me if I'm wrong. Was the Dawnbreaker pick before the AA or after the AA? After.
Yeah, I believe AA was first pick both games.
Yeah, so with that in mind, was the Dawnbreaker just picked because it's a comfort Axiom hero, or did you guys not think that the AA would be a big enough counter to the healing that the Dawnbreaker is trying to do in team fights? Because it definitely felt like the Dawnbreaker had almost zero to little impact that game.
I'll make it easy for you by touching on game 1 and 2, Dawn. I think it was just an oversight against both the AA and also the Silencer.
Okay.
I think we were too lost in what the supports are doing and more focused on what is Coplice and what is Nurch going to be doing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
Dawnbreaker, as someone who's played plenty of Dawnbreaker, like that's a brutal game as well. Just Silencer's so free, can play anywhere in the trees, and then Dawn ults, and then it just gets cancelled. Or Faye throws out the ult, then you don't do healing, and Quap has a blink, and Juggernaut spins, and you're just, I don't know, it's
the
such
same
a
as the game 8 where I was playing Nynx against Dawn, and it's just being able to Carapace, make Dawn not be able to use her ult, and now it's just a 4v5 for the entire fight, because that Dawn could be across the map with no TP for all you know.
yeah. Yeah,
Um,
it's a really hard game to
yeah,
play
it
in
was like
regards to that.
very brutal to watch it play out in real time. I
But
was
it was
feeling sad.
it's definitely a hero Axiom can play and is comfortable with. Obviously, Axiom being mostly a support and learning 3 this season played it very well. But I think when we were banning, we kind of got lost in what we should be banning against versus what we've already picked and banning to help other lanes, not just mid or the carry.
Yeah. I will say, just in regards to the Axiom Dawnbreaker, when you played that against our team in the group stage, like they went crazy. They were top net worth at like 6 minutes, 10 minutes, just absolutely blowing up the Spectre. That was a rough game.
I'm very confident if we look back that Silencer was banned for that game as well.
Probably, yeah.
So as we want to move on to game 2, GRaff, do you have any questions you want to ask, or you're good about game 1?
Not really a question. My only comment would be that I don't agree with the Dawnbreaker build in this game. The Greaves against the AA, kind of counterintuitive. I would just like to see a Lotus or something like that. Because you need the BKB.
One job I blame myself as, especially as being the more experienced person on the team, is I didn't micro people as well. I didn't really pay attention to what La or Axiom were building. And I blame myself a little bit for that because, the general is Greaves good because it is aura, mana, health. It's something you use for a team fight. It's something good against a hero or with a hero that wants to be close to everyone, ulting in obviously. So again, probably comfort hero with a item that he's built almost every single game. Because it was either going to be Greaves or Pipe.
The thing with Dawn, though, is you'd rather just have an Ags if you're going to go for healing.
Yep. And I agree with you. I agree there was a lot of better items to pick.
All right. So that was game 1. You guys, again, you really popped off that game 1. You guys, I think, were almost winning the early game, sort of. But then, as you said, as the game progressed to the near to the 30-minute mark, the Jug came online, along with the Sand King, and they just did not give up the lead thereafter. So, whilst you guys had your timing, they just took over the map. You going to say something?
Yeah, against that lineup, like, you have Jug that can farm very quick. You have Sand King that can farm stacks very quick. And you can see even though Blue Jay was losing the lane, he is stacking behind him and being able to come back because of that.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
They have heroes in both games that if you're not constantly pressuring while they're weak because they need to farm, then you're not going to outscale that. And with a Dawn DK, like you're not out farming Jug, Sand King, Alchemist, or anything like that.
Yeah, it really was like a very big timer on you guys' head. And even then, Jug, as you said, Jug, Senking, Quap, it's very hard to keep them silent from farming. So, um, uh, moving on to the second game, um, before I move on to the draft itself, what were the comms like in between the game? What did you guys tell each other that you guys could fix, or any team comms that you had between the games?
It was very quiet. I don't think we talked about much of what we needed to build. I think it was more about trying to talk more and trying to communicate more through game two,
Okay.
which didn't happen. It's kind of like, how did we feel against the heroes we played against? Do we want to ban any of those? Obviously, the Jug was um, the first thing that we thought. We don't want to play against that again. But there wasn't too much. What can we do to be better? It was more of just, let's calm down. Let's not throw a game two because we're upset about game one. Let's do what we can to take it to a game three.
Um, Obviously, you can't speak for your teammates, but for you personally, did you feel like you were frustrated after that game one, like thinking that you were so far ahead, but yet you weren't able to close out the game? Like, did you enter the second game with a fresh mindset, or did you feel you were still a little bit upset about the first game?
I was a little upset about the first game, 100%. For
Okay.
uncaring, I cared quite a bit about losing.
Yeah, this definitely more caring stone than uncaring stone, that's for sure. Um,
Yeah.
all right, so looking at this second game, you guys went for the Dragonite pivot to the off lane. Was that an initial consideration? Like you guys were thinking this is gonna pause through Dragonite, or were you thinking it to be some other role as well?
That's it. Tim, I'm gonna bring my captain into this for a minute. Very good at drafting, and one of his main things he likes to think about is what can we do to pick a hero that may throw them off and being able to flex it into a different role. And I think DK was a good comfort hero for Axiom, as well as Laws had success on it previously in this season. And I've also had success on it this season as a mid. So it could be a hero that we could technically flex into any lane for the cores.
Yeah, definitely one of those heroes. Um, and then were you surprised that they went with the Ancient Apparition and Rubik support combo? And were you looking to exploit that kind of weak support synergy there?
No. I'm telling you, we didn't pay zero attention to the supports we played against.
Okay, so
The only thing that was thought about the supports was don't pick Underlord into Rubik. And that would say that is about the most of their support pick.
right, so yeah, as you said for the first game as well,
Their
you
support
guys
picks
go
their
ahead.
support picks really didn't mean much to us with how hard Law was banned out. Because AA against a lot of lost carries were already banned that AA counters, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, and then in this particular game, I was wondering with the pickup of the Weaver, um, did you guys think that the Alk timing that they were gonna hit was something that the Weaver could contend with, and you were confident with that, or like were you guys like we're not gonna with our other picks, we're not
So
even gonna let the Alk hit his timing as fast as he wants to?
the Dragonite very quickly became, we can't play that as a one. Um and obviously we could not play that as a mid. So the initial thought was on 17, I don't know drafting very well, whatever the last pick was before last Band of Waves, 18 or whatever. Um we're gonna pick the Void Spirit before they banned it because they banned it in game one.
Yep.
And we are gonna on 18 or on our pick Drow, which then they proceeded to immediately ban Drow after I picked Void. And we didn't have, that was like that's the carry we want. And after that, I think our pool to pick from carries was very limited. And the Weaver was something that Love said he was comfortable and could play.
Okay, so the Weaver was more of a comfort shot that hey, he thinks he's good enough on this hero, so that's why he backs away. Gotcha. Yeah, so I was thinking because when I was seeing this draft, I was thinking maybe you guys thought that Weaver is like can come online earlier with the Desolator build, can obviously not match the Elk, but still in team fights contribute enough that the Elk's timing won't be a menace to you guys. Um, again, I want
On
to
paper, our draft does a good job at pushing.
right,
Uh, and we didn't utilize that. Weaver with Deso, Jakiro with what he does, Axiom on DK with, something that can frontline and hit a tower. Like, on paper, it's a good push into them and win early against two heroes, the Sand King and Elk, that want to take it past 30, 40 minutes.
right. Again, I guess I want to get your take on this. What do you think about this whole ALK gifting people egg strategy? How good do you think it is, or bad do you think it is? Clearly, it won against you guys. But do you think there's a definite counter to this strat? And again, you don't have to say what the counter is, but do you think it's counterable?
I think one of the hardest parts about any league game, as well as like 5-man Dota that you queue and ranked or whatever, is team coordination and communication. And a hero like that will allow you to like four people that are giving you the opportunity to have all the space you want. Like if you see how many times Coplice dies early, he doesn't care about dying on Axe because my Elk is farming. Right? My Elk is giving, my Sand King a free 4K eggs, which no one's gonna have BKBs by the time he has his eggs. So it is a hero that I personally don't like. But in a team oriented 5v5, it's a very strong hero.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I share similar sentiments as you with you on that topic as well. GF, you have any questions about this game too?
Uh, I would say that I disagree with what he said about not being able to put the DK as carry, because I look at this draft and I feel like putting Weaver off lane and pressuring the Alk, and then the DK can just farm and be carry, is kind of how I would have.
We're very limited to what our threes hero pool is, and
Even just
trying
swapping
to
low to off lane.
pardon. Oh, I get what
Even
you're
if you,
saying. Just swap to
yeah,
lanes.
yeah, swap low to off lane and let Axiom play carry and build
That
Mass
that's
Madness,
definitely
Odessa, whatever.
definitely wasn't discussed.
Yeah, I feel like that would have been a good way to stop the Alk from getting his Ags timing. Because
That is definitely a good thing.
if you get your first Ags like 24 minutes or whatever, it kind of just screws up the entire shot. You kind of need to be below 20 minutes.
When did can you guys? You have the game up. When did he get his first eggs?
It was right at 20 minutes.
Yeah,
So it was a slower first egg.
it was 20 minutes. So you say something?
No, I don't think that the Elk had the greatest timings because we were able to get him a few times, but as Sammy is pointing out, we did win the lanes, but I think a lot of our issue with this game was how we played as a team. I would say game one was poor itemization, and I think game two was a lack of coordination and understanding what we need to do to win the game.
Right. So that's my question for game two in particular. But I guess now I just want to go some general LDL questions. How was again? I know you had a disappointing quarterfinals, but how would you rate your entire LD2L season? Like, because this was your first season, how would you rate it? Have you played in other leagues before, and can you compare it to that, or is this like your first league that you played with?
So we did. Fuck off, Sammy. Uh, we did Seal season one. Again, that was a humbling experience going against teams with MMR average of 29,000, and our team was 22,000. Other than that, though, I did the two minis with LD2L before this one, this full season. That would be my only experience.
So how was your first full? So how was your teammates? What do you have? What do you have to say about them? How was your captain? So just wanted to get your experience for this first season of LD2L.
The captain's hard headed, and I know him enough I can say that and he won't get mad at me. Um, Definitely my favorite teams out of the three that I've done. The Seal season we did, we had a bunch of couldn't play, swapping people around, but this season definitely felt like the more cohesive team, and that we brought a strong package, especially for the ranks that we had.
Yeah, I mean,
I think everyone were above playing above their ranks, and throughout the whole uh, non-playoffs, played very well together.
I definitely feel like you guys were one of the strongest teams. You guys merited your second position on the ladder. We whenever we faced you guys, we had a very tough time playing against you. So I do share the sentiment as well. So
And for the record, our team, before you continue on, aside from Tim, who I play with regularly, I've never played with the other ones. Ransoms, we were on a team that played like 2 games together. We played a few ranked games together, but generally, I've never played with Law before. I've never played with Axiom before, and I probably have 10 games with Ransom. So, for not knowing any of these guys, it was a good experience, and we played pretty well together.
Yeah.
welcome back,
I
Mareth.
will say after our game, the Kyhua against Darkwing Ducks, that was like the most tilted I've been this season. We got you absolutely destroyed us, and I was so I don't know, I not like angry, but just like I'd watched my dog get shot in front of me type of energy. Like I was just like devastated.
What game was that? Was that the Nynx?
Um I remember
Sorry, I'm
I
bad with
played
remembering past games, so I
I
apologize.
played Night Stalker, and then you had the Treant Drow safe lane, and then Axiom was Dawnbreaker into our Spectre in game one. And we had 4 kills in the entire game, and you had like 36 or something.
Schedule teams.
It was so painful.
What was your team's name again? Kaya's Home of
Kyva's Home
Imaginary
for
Friends?
Imaginary Friends.
Oh, so that was the DK game I played mid.
Yeah.
um,
That's the kind of, and I'll be honest with you, our drafts would be very similar to that playoff game if Drow wasn't banned. Drow, DK, Dawn, and our 2 supports that hit towers. It's,
Yeah.
it's a very
Yeah, you had
similar
the
draft.
DK into Invoker, and you just like I don't know. Your last hits were crazy. You were
I, I,
I don't know,
I
like
play
30
against the
last hits
invokers.
up at like 6 minutes, 5, 6 minutes.
I
Easily.
feel like when you play mid, Invoker is just one of the heroes that you probably play against the most. Everyone wants to play and learn that hero and do Invoker shit with that hero, and I just know how to play against that hero because I've played against it so much.
Yeah, for sure.
all right.
It's also a
So
very good matchup for the DK there in lane, just because you do way more damage than the Invoker. So it's crazy
Yeah.
that they
Invoker
picked
doesn't
the.
do anything until he gets to like his wombo combo, cold snap into meteor, sunstrike, whatever. It doesn't kill a DK who is A, competent, and B, built some stats. So
Yeah. So I'm surprised they picked it into you.
I think that was another one of those comfort things I can't recall though.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Gundam spams Invoker.
yeah, for sure, that's like pretty well known. So last question to you. Do
Oh,
you?
Canadian, huh?
Sorry.
Canadian. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
I see the winter.
Uh, so last question to you would be in the future seasons. I'm hoping you're coming back for more LD2L in the future. Are there any players that you or any characters that you would love to play with on your team? You know.
Ooh, that's a good one. I probably won't do the next one. I'll probably be a stand-in. I think I've already decided that. I would be more than happy to do a stand-in and play here and there, but I don't think I would do another full season. Um, Play with, obviously it's always fun playing with Blue Jay. Blue Jay's that one person you need on every team that's going to communicate and uplift everyone, even if he is a trolling bastard. I would be interested to play with Coplice, and I'll be honest, I don't know anyone from the Mile Daddy team. I don't think I've ever played with almost any of them. So one of them would be interesting. I'd be interested to see how the Mile Daddy drafts and forms a team.
All right. Hopefully,
with as many leagues as he's been in.
yeah. Hopefully, one of the captains is hearing this. Whoever wants to captain in future seasons, and hopefully, we see you in one of those iterations or combinations of teams. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. Do stick around because I do like to do a little bit of predictions at the very end with both captains, and feel free to share your opinions on this next series that we're gonna cover. But now
Sure.
we do pivot our attention to the final series that the quarterfinals had to offer us, and me and Mareth will try to be as unbiased with this as possible. So, GRaff. First question, as always, how did you feel after the series ended? Initial thoughts.
I feel like it kind of went how I expected. I didn't really expect to win. We kind of had 5 players that all wanted to play a different game. We all have different play styles, and communication was lacking a bit. So unless we had just like an outstanding draft, our games were always kind of rough. Like we would farm and be even until about 20 minutes, and then team fights started happening, and the games would just go downhill. So that's kind of how both those games ended up going.
Matt, do you have any questions?
Well, second game, not even the lanes went that well. Just the whole game was a bit rough, but
my questions are more on like I wasn't fully paying attention to who was playing in what lane. YM playing safe lane. I know he plays a lot of mid, but when I've queued ranked with him, he does play safe lane. In game 1, he played the safe lane anti-mage. Like, were you going through the drafts like thinking about lane swapping and hero flexibility and all of these things, or?
Yeah, so the first pick Spearbreaker was a flex between me and Line. Line was either going to take it 4 or I was going to take it mid. And it didn't seem like a terrible Spearbreaker game other than the Underlord pick. So I ended up taking it. But in hindsight, we just didn't have enough early game pressure to utilize a mid Spearbreaker. So I should have given to Line and last picked my hero. But we did run YM safe lane week 7 just to get some practice with it, because I've been wanting to do that the entire season, because both of us play both roles.
Yeah.
And the Abaddon pick was also a flex because YM and Big Boy both play Abaddon.
So you guys had a last minute stand-in for this game, right?
Yeah, Big Boy LaCroix.
He was a permanent replacement for 1 week.
Okay, gotcha. So, did you guys get any practice in at all? I don't think you guys did, right? With your new teammate?
No, Big Boy was on vacation and just got back that Saturday night. So we played 1 pub beforehand.
Okay, so...
Yeah, I had the pleasure of... I was watching that pub, and I was messaging YM about, like... Because he was playing Pango. And I was, like, inspecting his Pango, and I was messaging Kyhua, like... If they have first pick, we should be banning Pango ourselves, because I don't want to play against this hero, and...
Yeah, I was thinking about taking it first.
Banning it both games.
Well, the reason I didn't want to take it first is because I wanted to ban or take the Spirit Breaker, and I felt like Invoker and Techies were also must bans. So it's just 4 heroes, and Spirit Breaker was the one that we chose to pick the first time.
Yeah.
So, at the beginning, with how the game was progressing, the anti-mage was obviously popping off, and did you guys think that because of how the anti-mage was popping off, did you guys have any team comms regarding how the AM should be playing the game? As in, should the AM just keep splitting the map and farming, or was it a conscious decision from YM to start participating in fights earlier?
Yeah, we talked about pretty much all of us just wanted to split push and get our items, because Big Boy's Abaddon offlane kind of had a rough start. He had a 25-minute radiance, So we wanted to get him an item or two and just let YM get as big as possible. Because like I mentioned before, our previous weeks when we lose, it would just be 20 minutes, we'd be about even, then start taking team fights. So my idea was kind of to try to split push as much as we can, which is why the Spearbreaker and the AM were pick ideas I had in my head. Just split push and keep the games going long, and then eventually take team fights where we're actually farmed. But we were never actually ahead with that strategy, so it didn't end up working out.
Okay, so I mean, you are the drafter for the team, and then, as you said, you probably, in hindsight, after this game, you would probably choose a different mid than Spirit Breaker. Would you also probably choose different support duos than Shadow Shaman and Witch Doctor for this game, or no?
Well, I think it would have been fine if I left the Shaman in and just gave Line the Spearbreaker, and then I could have last picked my mid. I don't know exactly who I would have picked, but something would have been better than Spearbreaker.
All right, for sure. Yeah, I think the Spirit Breaker, as you said, you guys maybe needed a little bit more damage hero or control hero from the mid lane that really brought your team comp together. Were you at all shocked by the Wraith King pick?
Yeah, we had no idea that it was going mid, so we kind of knew that you guys did some weird stuff. We had an idea that Gotham could be playing the Ricky. It's just you had like 10 different mids, 9 different safe lanes, and 10 different off lanes that you played throughout the season. So there's pretty much no idea what you're going to pick.
Right. Yes.
It was very tough to draft against.
Yeah, my next question was going to be on the Gotham Ricky. Did you think it would like Ricky is, in my opinion, pretty good against Animage just because the silence he can't manta out of it and then he can't blink.
You kind of have to buy a BKB.
Yeah. I don't know, like when you picked Anti-Mage, were you at all worried about that, or just like?
We were thinking it wouldn't be as big of a deal as it ended up being, because Wraith King no longer has any way to like buy a shard that makes him survive with 0 mana.
Yeah.
So AM's very good against Wraith King now. That was the main idea behind the pick. I did tell my team I have like basically draft blindness. I see Wraith King and I think, oh, Anti-Mage is good against it. And then I miss that Ricky's good against Anti-Mage. We did the same thing the week before. I picked the last pick LC and they had a Dawnbreaker. And I was like, LC's good against Weaver. Completely forgot that the Dawnbreaker exists though.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely not the greatest drafter ever, even though I've been playing leagues for probably 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, it's a completely different skill set and mentality to like handle, pulling the trigger on some of those decisions when you're drafting. It's, I don't know, it's very difficult.
Yeah, I think I tried to copy what my LD2L team did, and our draft went very well on that team, and it just didn't work out for this team. Different play styles, different hero pools.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think again, playing in the different leagues, I feel like almost every team I play has a different flavor to it. There's very little that I personally can bring from one team and just copy paste to another team. So I do agree with you there. So yeah, moving on to game two. Any communications you had with your team in between the games? Any words of wisdom that you shared with the teams, or was it like we're just gonna forget the first match and come with fresh eyes?
I was mostly just talking about who we wanted to first ban, first pick, because we did end up deciding to leave the Invoker in the second game, and we stole the Lich from you guys because you've picked Lich against us 3 times already.
Okay.
That was the main thing, though.
So the pivot that Mareth mentioned, pivoting YM to mid and you playing pause one, that discussion. I'm assuming that discussion happened during the drafting rather than it was a predetermined decision.
Yeah, during draft. So 18 pick is where I decided I was going to play safe lane Necro because we thought it was going to be Tide and Slardar off lane, but the Undying came out of nowhere.
Okay, so
oh my god, that Undying pick. We ran the Undying Tide once earlier, and the moment we picked Tide, I was like begging Kyhua to pick me Undying.
I actually was thinking about taking it for myself at 18, playing Undying carry. I didn't.
Oh, yeah,
That would have been fun though.
that
So
would have definitely thrown like a huge monkey wrench in at least my strategy.
um, I want to ask you, you as a captain, um, well, not as captain, as a drafter. As a drafter, do you envision the like in a perfect world? Do you envision the teams you're gonna draft are gonna be more early, timing based, tempo based, finish the game within 20 to 30 minutes, or are you an enjoyer of late game secure drafts where you have a carry that you know is gonna always win the game for you? What is your type of drafting teams, or what is your ideal team that you want to draft every single time, if possible?
I mean, if against the right lineup, like if you guys don't have the Undying, I love our draft this game. I like the early game lineup where we just pressure and take over the game. Uh, this team did not have that playstyle though. We kind of had more of a split up and farm a little bit, and then take too long to group together. So by the time we had our timings, we were already behind, and we couldn't force the tier 2 or tier 3 towers.
Yeah, I
But
think
definitely early game's my preference.
um the you on the Necrophos again. I felt like you were not that far behind in with the net worth. If I look at 10 minutes, I think you were like 100 gold behind the Undying. So I think with that matchup, it wasn't too bad. But I think the Ursa Centaur matchup was going kind of wonky. Do you think that that's a reason why you guys couldn't pressure the map much because the Centaur was playing into such a bad lineup against the Ursa matchup?
A little bit. I mean, YM's really the only one who had a game that third game or second game. I mean, it, just no one really took off. I had farm, but I didn't really become a hero ever. Just the nullifier came out on the Ursa, and I was useless. Like a 22-minute nullifier, I can't do anything.
Right. So again, in hindsight, would you still pick the Centaur Necrophos combo, or would you, I guess, go something else?
I think the Centaur is fine. That's his most played hero, even if he does get counterpicked a little bit. Definitely would have swapped the Necro for something else. Dawnbreaker is fine. I don't really know. Your draft just threw me off so much with that last pick, Undying. You probably would have switched it up and done something else without the Necro in there, so it's hard to say. There's no one hero that just wins the game.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
yeah,
yeah.
definitely like a tough scenario to gauge because you don't, as you said, we haven't really played the Undying, so just no theory crafting could have possibly put that in your heads. Do you have any questions for GRaff and Grindstone about this game and these series in particular?
I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch enough of it to have any criticisms.
All right. So again, the second game was again, as you said, pretty rough. Once the nullifier did come up on the Arsa, Necrophos could really not have a big of an impact in that game. So looking back at your LD2L season, you've played a lot of LD2L before. So how would you say, was this your first time captaining or no?
No, I've captained a few times. I captained last season too, and that didn't go well either.
So
So last season, I kind of let my team pick the hero that they wanted every single game, and that didn't go very well. So this season, I restricted my teammates to like smaller hero pools, except for really me and YM, and neither worked. So I think I'm just not meant to be a drafter. I also didn't really want a captain coming into the season. I was a little bit burnt out from LD2L and playing LD2 at the same time, so my heart just wasn't in it, and I didn't spend much time scouting or anything.
yeah, I've
But
I've I've heard that before from someone. I forget who told me that this that GRaff wasn't really intending to captain and got shoehorned in. But I mean, you still did a pretty decent job. Was there like with regards to your teammates? Had you played with them before, or were they again? Obviously, it was a one switch up in the middle of the season. Other than that, what are your thoughts on your teammates? How did the team environment feel?
I mean, it was all PMA. It was fun. Even the guy that left, he was PMA before. Nothing wrong. Like no one was flaming or anything. I don't know why he left. But yeah, it was fun to play. It was just disappointing that we lost so much. I played with Ark before, a random clown. We played together last season. It's always fun playing with him. Me and Big Boy played 3 seasons in a row when I was newer to LD2L, so that was fun. Getting to play with him again. That was my first time playing with YM, but my idea in the player draft was I wanted to get as high of an MMR mid as I could for cheap, and then see what I can get off lane in supports. So, I mean, my player draft idea kind of worked out how I wanted it to. I do kind of wish I could have gotten maybe a legend offlaner, but they were expensive.
Wow, you literally answered the next question I was gonna ask, which was that how did you feel like your auction strategy was? So like I guess you answered it. Like, so you probably, as you said, you would wanted the amount of money. How much did you pay for YM? I don't remember exactly. Do you remember?
It really wasn't that much. I think I paid more for Arc, actually. Let me look. I think you can still see it on the website, right? No, I paid the most for him, so I paid only 115. So I got him for really cheap. But I also didn't start with much money,
Right,
being
yeah.
like Ancient 4 or something at draft.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I do kind of wish I would have splurged and gotten an offlaner and just had like no money left for my supports. I think that would have worked out better, but I don't regret picking anyone that I did either.
yeah, but like everyone comes to these draft leagues, especially with different strategies for the auctions. I always love to hear what these captains' strategies are in terms of picking up heroes. So it definitely seems like you have, in hindsight, obviously, in hindsight, everything's 2020. So it seems like you've figured out something you want to do next time if you're captain. So that's great to hear.
Well, I don't think I can play anymore. I'm divine now, so I think I'm gone from LD2L unless
Oh
there's a mini.
no, he's too good for us.
Yeah, I mean,
Dictator Anani's gonna ban me.
well, whilst we would love to have you in an ideal scenario where you somehow manage to throw games learning how to play a lone druid or some shit, who would be some characters or players you would love to be on a team with?
Uncaring Stone mentioned Blue Jay. He's very fun to play with. I agree on that one. I won the mini with Coplice as my captain. It's always fun playing with him too. I did play a mini in 8012 with Wild Daddy. That was quite fun. That was only 2 weeks though, so I'd like to play more with him. Some of the old people that I played my earlier seasons with, I wish they would come back. Like Jackie Chan, if anyone remembers him, he was fun to play with.
All right. Do you have any final questions about the series, Mareth?
About this series, no. I feel like I don't know. We covered everything that all my inquiries. Because you've drafted and captained player drafted and captained in LD2L a few times now. Do you have any like suggestions other than just like I don't know high MMR players for someone that hasn't done that yet?
I think for me, it's hard to do this since I was the higher MMR of the season, but a well-rounded team with like all Archons and Legends is the ideal lineup.
Oh, I agree with that.
Because when you have MMR differences, it kind of hurts a bit. There's a lot of decisions I would call out and just not quick enough reactions for what I'm used to. So I would play worse, just expecting my teammates to do things that weren't being done. No flame to them, it's just MMR differences. Playing playing with ancient and divine players in pubs, I make stupid decisions and then they save my life.
Yeah.
So just got used to having that on my team. So I definitely hurt myself doing it that way.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I have
Well-rounded team.
I have some questions regarding the MVP to both of you. If you guys could give any shout outs to who do you think deserves the MVP votes. Again, you don't have to say all the categories, whatever categories come into your mind. So we're gonna start off with Uncaring Stone. What do you think about the MVPs of this season?
I would be I have to shout out one of my teammates at least. I think
Go for it.
I don't know the categories for it, but I think Tim did an amazing job as a drafting captain, and knew how to pick apart teams and build a very cohesive draft. I think he brings a. I don't know if there's a fucking drafting or team synergy. Um, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Category, but I'd put him up there because the drafting he picked against these teams was very well done. Aside from the last game.
How about you, Giraffe? Like, doesn't have to be all the categories, whatever you can think of off the top of your head. Any shoutouts?
I'd say Blue Jay was a rigged replacement, and he can carry that team to the finals. Because I don't remember who it was, but I believe it was a support player they had before, and now they have a very solid mid player. So that's definitely
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
definitely MVP worthy. And I would say JD is probably the Smurf of the season. He, I don't know how he's allowed in. He's got what, like 56% win rate or something. Crazy Dota buff.
Yeah, for sure. One of the
What rank
hardest.
is he in the? What rank is he in the league?
Say that again.
What's his actual rank?
Legend 1.
Legend 1, gotcha.
But he's the best player in the league.
You don't want to say Mild Daddy for Smurf of the season?
Nope. JD takes that.
All right.
For sure, one of the more notorious people to scout on this league. For sure, shoutouts to JD. And then lastly, your predictions for the semifinals. What do you guys think? Who heads to the finals of LD2L Season 21?
I think. Sorry, do you want to start, Jeff?
Sure. I think, based on what I just said, JD maxing, Hollywood's team. I think they're going to be in the finals up against Kyhua.
All right. And against on you?
I think we can all assume that Mild Daddy's probably making it to the end. And playing against the new Coplice team, beating them the first time around, and then playing against new Coplice, I think they have good team synergy. I think they have a game plan of how they want to play a game out, and they can surely pull a reverse win on with how bad their season went. They have very good people on their team that are communicating very well.
All
Yeah.
right.
Definitely going forwards to the match against Coplice. I'm doing my very best to not underestimate the team they have now compared to what I saw earlier in the season.
The fact that Coplice can play as well as he does on a role he doesn't normally play is impressive. And speaking with Sammy on listening to him draft, like he goes in the drafts with a game plan, and that's always scary when you have a captain that just knows how to draft a team, or at least a team around what his players want to play and are good at.
So, pro tip for your match against Coplice: make sure you scout his Smurf because that's where he plays all of his core games.
Okay, that's what I can do.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I know about
Explodes all
Psycho.
Smurfs.
Yeah, you have to scout his Smurf. That's where all the axe games are.
I watched his stream and he was like dominating on Dawnbreaker, and it's just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, well, he started that account and was playing terrible as core and getting smacked in those games. And then now he's actually dominating in them. So he's improved as a core, and he says he doesn't play core, but he pretty much does now. Maybe not at a high ancient level, but he's up there at least.
Yeah.
All right.
And we won the
Yeah.
first mini with him playing offlane.
So thank you to both of the guests for sharing your thoughts and opinions. Thank you for agreeing to come to this podcast. It's always an enjoyable time to listen to all the high MMR takes. Before we wrap things up, one final opportunity for you guys to give any final shout outs to anybody, if you guys want to. Any parting words for the LD2L Season 21?
I just want to see some good games. I think.
Yeah, I want to see some game threes.
Yeah, there's a lot of talented people in this league, and I think I've watched a few of the seasons that I haven't been in, and this seems like a very strong group of teams in this particular league, or this particular season. Sorry. I don't think any team is technically out of being the winner of the whole thing. Is what I'm trying to say.
You were saying something,
Yeah,
GRaff?
I'm looking forward to Hollywood in winning Game 3 against Wild Daddy. I think it'll be a wonderful season or match to watch. That's what I'm
I'm calling
looking forward
Hollywood out. He was my first captain and forced me to play support. I hope you lose.
to.
Okay. So we've got another hate watcher after Megumin. We've got Uncutting Stone hate watching the Hollywood games confirmed. And all right. So GRaff, you were saying something, or you good? You good?
I was just saying I want to see some game threes. There's all 2-0s last week.
Right. Yeah. So hopefully the semifinals produce some blockbuster fights. I hope Anani. I don't know if he's choosing which semifinal to cast, but I hope he casts the Hollywood versus Wild Daddy game. Definitely the more entertaining, quite possibly gonna be the more entertaining of games in terms of random shit happening. So that's my vote for the Anani cast. Again, thank you to both of you for giving your time to us. Thank you, Mareth, again, for joining me yet again on another episode. It was a
Yeah,
wonderful.
it's been such a pleasure to be able to talk to both of you. I my favorite podcasts so far were this one and the one we did last time having the other two captains on. It
But if you
was
had to pick, which one was better? No pressure.
no pressure. I'm gonna say last week's simply because you've asked me this question. It's ruined. It's horrible now.
Oh.
No, it's I love being able to hear these I don't know, a little more in-depth take on the season and teams and like drafting styles and everything that's gone well or gone wrong because like during the season I feel like if we had either of you on you wouldn't want to share all the information you would now that you've been eliminated. It's like I don't know. It's like True Sight, you know?
No, I would have shared anything. I don't care.
Yeah, I didn't really do a whole lot of scouting, as I said earlier, so I didn't have a whole lot to share.
Played my first role mid hero in the finals and lost with it. I have nothing to hide.
All right. Thank you so much again. I appreciate it. And that will be all for us in today's episode. The next time you hear from us, the semifinals will be done, and we will have our two grand finalists. And till then, best of luck to the remaining four teams. Give your absolute best. We hope to see some absolute cracker of games. Throws and then rethrows and then high ground fails, rapiers, all that jazz, tier 5 items. Let's bring it all the way to game 3. Yeah, till then, have a great week and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.